The first light of dawn crept softly through the thin curtains, casting a pale gold shimmer across the small wooden room. Huyen stirred awake, her body heavy and sore, her heart fluttering with both warmth and unease. For a moment, she didn't remember where she was. Only the faint scent of pine, the quiet rhythm of morning birds, and the distant bark of Babi, their loyal dog. Then the memories of last night flooded back. It was the first night she and Dee had truly shared a life together, not just as two people under the same roof, but as something closer, more tender, more real. Maya, she whispered to herself, glancing at the little door to her daughter's room. The small bed was empty. Maya was still, sleeping soundly inside. But Dee, where was Dee? She sat up, brushing a strand of hair from her face. The pillow beside her was cold. Her heart tightened. "He's gone already? So early," she murmured, her voice caught somewhere between confusion and worry. The aches in her body made her blush. Maybe it was from working too hard yesterday for the shop owner. Or maybe she knew exactly why. She pressed her hands to her chest, trying to calm the storm in her heart. Was everything too fast? She thought, staring out the open window toward the misty hills. He's still not divorced yet. What if people find out? The thought made her stomach twist. She had already gone through a divorce. The whispers, the judgment, the pity. She had promised herself she would never let her heart lead her into pain again. And yet, Dee's kindness had broken through every wall she had built. He wasn't a man of many words. He simply showed care, waking early to fetch water, fixing the fence, making sure Maya had breakfast before school. He made her feel seen again, not as a divorced woman, but as a woman who still deserved love. Still, the question haunted her. What if love wasn't enough? If the law didn't accept it? If the world didn't forgive it? Would their happiness survive? Huyen closed her eyes, pulling the thin blanket close. "Whatever people say," she whispered, "I'll face it. I'll live for myself now." Just then, the sound of the front gate creaked open. Footsteps echoed in the yard. "Are you awake already?" a gentle voice called. "Dee?" He stepped inside, holding a small basket of fresh bread and two paper lanterns painted with tiny rabbits. His smile was soft, a little shy, but his eyes were filled with warmth. "I went to the market early," he said, setting the basket down. "You worked hard yesterday. I thought you could rest a little longer." Huyen looked at him, her heart both calm and trembling. She wanted to smile, but her lips only parted slightly. "Dee," she said quietly, "you didn't have to." He shook his head. "I wanted to. For you. For Maya." For a long moment, neither spoke. The quiet between them wasn't awkward. It was full of something fragile yet powerful, something both feared to break. Finally, Dee's hand brushed hers gently. "Don't worry about anything," he said softly. "No matter what happens, I'll take care of you both." And though his voice was calm, Huyen could hear the truth behind it. The promise of a man still bound by the law, yet already bound by love. Outside, the sun rose higher, spreading light across their small home. Inside, two hearts beat to the rhythm of hope and uncertainty, caught between what the heart desires and what the world allows. The morning sun slowly spread its golden warmth over the small yard. Smoke rose gently from the kitchen as the smell of fried sausages and boiled noodles filled the air. Huyen tied her hair back, still trying to hide the nervous flutter inside her chest. Dee stood by the wooden table, arranging breakfast like a man who had long dreamed of such quiet mornings. He turned and smiled when he saw Huyen walking in. "You seem shy today," he teased softly. Huyen lowered her gaze. "No, it's just, I still feel a little strange." Dee laughed, his voice low and warm. "Strange because I made breakfast." "No," she said quickly, then paused. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Because of last night." Dee froze for a moment, the pan still in his hand. Then he set it down gently. "Huyen," he said, his tone suddenly serious. "Do you regret it?" Her eyes widened. "No, I just..." She struggled to find the right words. "I'm scared. You haven't divorced yet. If people find out, they'll judge us. They'll say I broke someone's marriage." Dee sighed and stepped closer. "I know," he said quietly. "I've thought about that too. Every single day." He reached for her hand, his calloused fingers trembling slightly. "But I swear, my marriage ended a long time ago, long before I met you. The papers may not be finished, but the love, the trust, all of that is gone." Huyen looked at him, her heart aching at the sincerity in his eyes. "Still," she said softly, "the law doesn't see it that way." "I'll take care of it," he said firmly. "I'll finalize everything soon. Just trust me." She wanted to believe him, and deep down, she did. Dee smiled again, trying to lighten the air. "Look," he said, opening a small box beside the basket. Inside was a tiny paper lantern in the shape of a rabbit, glowing softly from the sunlight. "I bought this for Maya," he said proudly. "The Mid-Autumn Festival is coming soon. I thought we could take her out to celebrate this year." Huyen's heart melted. She imagined Maya's little face lighting up under the full moon, holding the lantern high. "You really think of everything," she whispered. "For me," Dee said, "being with you and Maya is already the happiest thing. I don't have much, but I want to give you both peace." The words wrapped around Huyen like a warm blanket. She turned away quickly to hide the tears forming in her eyes. "Thank you," she said softly, "but don't promise too much. I don't need a rich life, Dee. I just want a simple one, without lies, without fear." Dee nodded. "Then I'll give you that kind of life." Outside, Maya's laughter suddenly rang through the yard. She had woken up and found her new toy. "Mom, Uncle Dee, look, it lights up." They both turned toward her, smiling. In that moment, the heavy questions about divorce, judgment, and legality faded for a while. All that remained was the soft glow of love, fragile, forbidden, yet deeply human. And as they sat down together for breakfast, Huyen thought to herself, maybe love, even if not yet accepted by law, could still be accepted by the heart. That afternoon, the air in the small village was filled with the hum of gossip, soft whispers that carried faster than the wind. It all began at the market, where Huyen was selling pineapples. "Did you hear?" A woman murmured to another. "That man, Dee, is still married, yet he's living with Huyen." The other woman leaned closer, pretending to pick through vegetables. "Really? Poor Huyen, she's such a kind woman. But still, living with a man who hasn't divorced, that's asking for trouble." Huyen stood nearby, pretending not to hear, but every word hit her like a stone. Her hands trembled slightly as she handed over a pineapple. 10,000 per fruit, she said softly, forcing a smile. When she got home that evening, she tried to hide her unease. Dee was already there, sitting in the yard with Maya, helping her with homework. The scene was so peaceful that for a moment, Huyen forgot the rumors. But as she watched them, a strange ache stirred inside her. The fear of losing everything she had begun to cherish. A home, laughter, belonging. Dee looked up and saw her standing there, quiet and distant. "You're home early," he said, wiping his hands. "You look tired. Did something happen?" Huyen hesitated, then shook her head. "It's nothing. Just a bit of gossip at the market." Dee frowned. "About us?" She nodded slowly. "They say you're still married, that what we're doing isn't right in the eyes of the law." Dee sighed deeply. "Let them talk. People will always find something to say when they see others happy." "But it hurts," Huyen whispered. "Every word feels like a cut." He stepped closer, gently brushing her hair from her face. "Then don't listen to them. What we have, it's real. You, me, Maya, this is a family, no matter what they say." Huyen bit her lip. "But the papers, they matter. I can't live forever hiding from the truth." "I know," Dee said quietly. "The case is still being processed. My ex-wife refuses to sign the final documents. She's trying to make it difficult for me." "Why?" Huyen asked, her voice trembling. "Because she can't accept that I've moved on," he said bitterly. "But I'll keep fighting. I'll finish this, for you and Maya." Huyen's eyes softened, yet her heart was still heavy. "I don't want you to fight because of me. I just want peace." Dee smiled faintly. "Then peace you shall have." He took her hand and led her inside, where the soft light from the lantern Maya had left on glowed gently against the bamboo walls. The smell of boiled rice filled the air, mingling with the scent of home. As they ate together, Maya told stories about school, her laughter filling the small house. Huyen watched her daughter's joy and felt her worries fade for a while. But deep down, a quiet question still echoed in her heart. Can love be truly peaceful when the law still calls it wrong? And though Dee tried to hide it, the same thought lingered in his mind. That love alone might not be enough to silence the world outside. The next morning, Dee woke before sunrise. He sat on the porch, watching the mist roll over the hills. The world was quiet, but inside him, everything felt heavy. He had promised Huyen peace, yet her eyes last night told him the truth. Peace would never come until his past was resolved.
After breakfast, he took a deep breath and told her softly, "Huyen, I'll go to town today. I need to meet the court officer again. I can't let this drag on any longer." Huyen looked at him with quiet understanding. "Go. Whatever happens, I'll wait." Dee smiled faintly. "When this is over, I'll come back not as a man burdened by the past, but as the one you can truly call your husband."
He left with determination burning in his chest. The road to town was long, but his steps were steady. Each step was a promise to end the lies, to fight for the love that had given his life meaning. That evening, as Huyen stood at the door, the wind carrying the scent of jasmine, she saw his figure appear through the fading light. His clothes were dusty, but his eyes were clear. "It's done," Dee said simply. "The divorce is final." Tears filled her eyes, not of sadness, but relief. She didn't say a word. She only reached out and held him tightly. In that silent embrace, the law, the judgment, the fear, all faded away. For the first time, their love wasn't something to hide. It was something they could finally call their own, honest, simple, and free. And under the evening sky, the jasmine flowers swayed gently, witnesses to a love that had finally found its peace. True love is not just about passion or closeness. It's about honesty, respect, and the courage to face what is difficult. Dee in Huyen's story reminds us that love cannot truly bloom when it stands in the shadow of secrets or unresolved ties. Even though their hearts had already chosen each other, Dee understood that to build a peaceful and lasting life with Huyen, he needed to confront his past, not avoid it. There are times in life when doing what is right means enduring pain, delay, and doubt. But only through that courage can love stand strong. Huyen's patience and trust showed that real love doesn't rush. It waits for what is fair and true. She didn't demand perfection. She only wished for honesty and peace. Dee's journey to finalize his divorce was not just a legal process. It was a symbol of integrity. He chose the harder road to make their relationship lawful and rightful, proving that genuine love must walk hand in hand with morality. Their story teaches us that happiness built on truth will never collapse. Even when the path is long or uncertain, love that respects both the heart and the law becomes something pure, worthy, and unshakable. Sometimes, love is not about how fast two people come together, but about how bravely they choose to stand together the right way.